Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. I've had some teething issues with this microphone, and I don't want to pour my heart out on my sleeve like I always do, with no bullet points, nothing I can refer to, and pretty much no memory of what I say until I watch it back. Look, today I'm here to discuss something that I'm going to do tomorrow morning. It's something that a lot of people are apprehensive about doing. It's something that I'm not apprehensive about doing. I mean, I'd get it done every 3 months if I could be bothered. The only thing I'm ever apprehensive about with regards to getting my blood work done, it's not the results. The results are going to be the results. Your body is in the state it's in. We may as well know about it. The only apprehension I have is sitting down in that doctor's office, and it's normally a brand new GP. I've never had a family GP. I don't go to the doctor often. I only go to the doctor when I want to know something or when something's wrong. And hopefully you get there before it gets wrong, that grammar was absolutely terrible. Basically, I do not like having to explain myself when it comes to wanting to know where my health is at. And I feel like I felt that more so in my 20s, because one of the main things I'd want to know, especially before I started drinking every day, was how my testosterone was going, how my hormones were going. And was a certain little part of me hoping that they were low so that I could get on some testosterone replacement therapy and have a bit of a boost in my life and in my training? Yeah, a little bit. But I'm glad that I never went down that path, and I still haven't. But I guess nowadays, being 34, I feel like walking into a doctor's office and saying, I just want a full panel of bloods, do absolutely everything. I'm in my mid-30s. As much as I don't want to admit it, I can say that. And as soon as you say that, it's like, well, there's really no reason why a doctor would deny you. But even still, in this past time, which was yesterday morning, I got my referral. I'm going to go and get my blood taken tomorrow. He's like, well, why? What are your symptoms? And I would recommend that anyone going in have at least one symptom, just to rattle off if and when you need it. And it was tiredness, it was lethargy, it was feeling exhausted every single day, and that's pretty much exactly what I'm going through. I would say I've probably got a period of about 3 to 4 hours in the morning where I feel okay, I feel pretty capable, I feel like my eyes are open, and I don't know whether it's the job that I'm in at the moment. I don't know whether it's the staring at the screen for fucking, 8 hours a day, or it's certainly because I'm on low calories. But either way, I do have a symptom, and it's tiredness. And I mentioned it in yesterday's video, if that tiredness is due to anything other than being on low calories, I'm going to find out. Because I'm going to get my blood drawn. And if I'm low in iron, or if I'm low in B12, or if I'm bloody low in testosterone, or I've got kidney disease, I'm going to find out. And I feel like that's important. So today's video is just to introduce the topic. And I will make another video when I get my results back. I'm hoping and praying that nothing's wrong. But if it is, that's life. And I want to know. I want to know what state my body's in. My last panel of bloods were in August of last year, and I made a video on this channel around that. At that point, I was drinking every day still. I think I may have strung together a few days of sobriety prior to that, but I'm not completely sure. It's a bit of a blur. I think I was right, balls deep in working 2 full-time jobs at the time, grinding away to build my capacity and build my deposit towards buying a property here in Townsville, which happened in the end, and now we're almost a year on. So, we're halfway through June. Today's date is the 14th of June, and so it's almost a year since I got my last set of bloods done. And since then, I've had, since August, if I can remember correctly, I had August, September, October drinking every day. I had November, December off of alcohol but smoking weed. I had January, February, March, and half of April drinking every day, smoking weed every day. And then since the 14th of April, since the first day of my new job, I haven't had a drop of alcohol and I haven't had a smoke of weed. And I actually stopped smoking weed on the 3rd of April. So that's pretty good for me. And that means that I'm expecting my body to be in really good shape. I feel like any regeneration that's possible will have occurred. And one other thing that always bothered me was my blood pressure. And I went to the doctor and they gave me a blood pressure check and he said, okay, your blood pressure's good. And I didn't actually see what the number was, and that was frustrating. And I thought, oh, okay, well, he says it's good, and look, I'm just going to take my referral and go. And that's what I did. But later on in the day, I got another opportunity to go into a chemist because I got my tooth taken out yesterday and I had to go and get some painkillers. So I went into the chemist and they had a blood pressure machine sitting there for anyone who wants to do it. And I sat down and I did it. And the first one was 132 over 86. The second one was 122 over 80. So let's take a happy medium. Let's even go 128, 130 over 85. 130 over 85. I've had my blood pressure as high as 160 over 100 or 105. So that's pleasing. That's really pleasing, and it puts my mind at ease. Now I can move on with my life, and if I do have a headache that pops up, I'm not going to be concerned that it's to do with my blood pressure. I'm not going to be concerned walking around every day with health anxiety around my blood pressure, around thinking, fuck, my brain's about to pop. I'm about to have a stroke because I got high blood pressure. I got it checked. I got it checked 3 times, and it's good. And I'll continue to have it checked. So today's video is all about just introducing the topic of blood work and how important it is, whether you're an alcoholic or not. But most certainly if you're an alcoholic, I feel like every alcoholic, every man, but let's focus on, people with an alcohol addiction. Even if you're still drinking, even if you're drinking every day, even if you're balls deep in 30 to 40 standard drinks every single day, which some people are, which is insane. I was probably between 15 to 25 standard drinks a day for the most part at the end and during certain periods. Certainly when I wasn't working, I could get that up to 25 to 30, but that was just the absolute max. So for people who are literally drinking from the time they get up to the time they go to bed, it's a lot, and you'll be feeling like fucking shit, and you'll feel like you can't go without a drink. And it's those people who've been doing that for years and years that do need a medical detox. But at the end of the day, you walk into a doctor's office and you share a bit of honesty about where you're at. You can at least get that off your chest, tell someone, and get some blood work and find out where your body's at. And you never know, if it comes back better than expected, that may actually inspire you to quit while you're ahead, so to speak. You never know. Just get in there, get it done. It's important. Or you can just bury your head in the sand and, hope that you never get sick or you never get unwell. But I can tell you that, having a roaring fucking horrendous hangover is one thing, but imagine feeling like that every day, even if you don't drink. And that's what some of these chronic illnesses can lead to. And if we're drinking alcohol every day, it just speeds it up. And I'm not perfect, but I'm going to get my blood work done, and I'm looking forward to it. I want to know where my testosterone's at, to be fair, because that affects everything. So, kidney and liver function have always been good. I'm not expecting anything out of the ordinary. My cholesterol has been high. I think I got it checked in 2021. It was pretty high. They actually put me on a statin medication. I stopped taking that due to laziness, to be fair, which worried me for the first couple of weeks after stopping, but in the end I just brushed it off. And then I got it checked again in August last year, and it was high, but not as high as what it had been. And so, there was no discussion of any medication. And so this time is going to be interesting. It's going to be really interesting because I have had overall, like I said before, 4 months, if not a little bit more, of sobriety over the last 10 months. So that's almost 50-50. And the last 60 days, 60 plus days, I have been off of alcohol. So, and my diet has been as good as it's ever been. So I'm hoping, if my cholesterol actually drops down to within the normal range, that is a total and utter success just through lifestyle changes. So all of that and more will be revealed, of course. I'll run through the results when I get them. But I wanted to make this video because it was on my mind and I feel like it's important. That's my story. That's what I'm doing. I'm 34. I started drinking every day at the end of 2020. And within 7 days of doing that, I was hooked. And I've been in a battle to quit ever since. So it happens really quickly. And, it's dangerous. And we're all better off without it. But with all the propaganda out there, with all the advertising, with all the, it's hard. It can be hard. And relapse is a part of my story. And I'm not going to promise anything. But at this point, I'm feeling healthy. I'm feeling lean, mean, clean and serene. And let's keep it that way. Thanks for watching once again. See you in the next one.